Hey there, Salem fanatics. Welcome back to the channel. Grab your coffee and get comfortable because the drama we are about to unpack from Monday's episode is off the chart. We have betrayals, mind games, and some classic DiMera chaos. Let's jump right into the recap and break it all down. Can we just start with the absolute atrocity that EJ DiMera is committing right now? I'm literally shaking with rage over this storyline. On Monday, July 20, we are finally seeing the explosive fallout from Friday's sickening cliffhanger. Holly Jonas is completely blindsided when Sarah Horton and Tate Black confront her about the drugs found in her bag. And you guys know exactly how those pills got there. EJ DiMera, in a move so cold-blooded it would make Stefano proud, planted those pills when nobody was looking. Why? Because he is desperately trying to create a smokescreen to cover up the fact that DiMera Pharmaceuticals is responsible for the arsenic-laced Coriseal crisis that killed Sarah's patient. EJ is willing to completely destroy a teenage girl's life, reputation, and sanity just to protect his corporate empire. That is insane. But honestly, it is so perfectly in character for the monster EJ is becoming. Let's be real for a second about Tate Black. A lot of fans think Tate is just being a protective boyfriend by staging this intervention with Sarah, but I actually think he is being a terrible partner here. Holly is going to be absolutely outraged and reeling from these accusations. She is going to swear up and down that she only takes her prescribed antidepressants. And she is telling the truth. But Tate doesn't believe her. He looks at her with that profound lack of trust, and you can just see Holly's heart breaking into a million pieces. This is the exact moment that is going to shatter their relationship. If you look back at Salem history, trust is the one thing you cannot fake. Just look at Brady and Chloe, or even EJ and Sammy back in the day. Once the trust is gone, the relationship is dead. Tate's failure to believe Holly is going to push her away, and quite frankly, she deserves someone who will stand by her when she is being framed. But here's the kicker with EJ. While he is busy ruining Holly's life, he is playing a completely different game with Cat Greene. Monday's episode shows EJ actually apologizing to Cat. Now, why on earth is the great EJ DiMera apologizing? Well, he lost his position as the owner of the hospital, and it looks like he might have to fire her. But there is a massive underlying current here. Gwen Rizchek was the one threatening to buy the hospital and throw her weight around. EJ's probably wondering if he would be booted from his throne if Gwen just happened to go missing. And knowing that Kristen and Xander are actively plotting against EJ, Gwen's disappearance isn't totally out of the realm of possibility. What EJ doesn't realize is that he is playing with fire when it comes to Cat. He thinks he has this magnetic Wuthering Heights style control over her, but we know she is secretly an ISA agent working with Rafe and Shane Donovan. I absolutely love this dynamic because it is a ticking time bomb. EJ is exposing his vulnerabilities to the exact woman who's trying to take him down. It reminds me so much of when John Black used to go undercover in the DiMera organization decades ago. The tension is palpable, and when this secret blows up, EJ's wrath is going to be biblical. Speaking of John Black and the DiMeras, let's pivot to the most fascinating mystery on the show right now, the Stefano DiMera chess set. Chad DiMera and Belle Black have been obsessing over this board, and on Monday, they finally uncover a massive clue. All the arrows are pointing directly to Italy. You guys, my jaw hit the floor. The missing pawn piece, the old 1,000 lira note, and now a direct link to Italy. This is a masterclass in soap opera lore. Let's take a trip down memory lane. Back in 1986, John Black arrived in Salem wrapped in bandages, completely amnesiac, and he was literally known as the Pawn. Stefano used him as a brainwashed assassin. Stefano's greatest strongholds, including the infamous Maison Blanche and his various European estates, were always the epicenter of his mind control experiments. I am totally convinced that Stefano has a sleeper agent waiting in Italy, or perhaps a secret vault containing the final piece of his legacy. Are Chad and Belle gonna pack their bags and head to Europe? I think they absolutely have to. And you won't believe what happens next with these two. The romantic tension between Chad and Belle is skyrocketing. A lot of fans are torn on this pairing because of Chad's history with Abigail and Belle's messy past with Sean, but I am totally here for it. They are bonded by trauma and this incredibly dangerous investigation. Marlena is terrified that they are poking a sleeping bear, and she is right. But the chemistry between Connor Floyd and Martha Madison is undeniable. If they go to Italy together, we are definitely getting a steamy European romance mixed with high-stakes espionage, and I cannot wait. Across town, the mighty Gabi Hernandez is completely falling apart, and she is turning to her brother Rafe for support. Gabi is in a really dark place right now. She just got brutally dumped by Philip Kiriakis after he found out she bugged his office to help Tony DiMera sabotage the Titan merger. And if losing her billionaire boyfriend wasn't enough, her daughter Arianna has completely iced her out and moved out of the house because Gabi bribed Liam to leave town. Gabi is sitting there crying to Rafe, completely isolated and alone. I have to say, I have a massive love-hate relationship with Gabi. On one hand, she is a fierce survivor who clawed her way to the top after surviving prison and endless heartbreak. On the other hand, she is her own worst enemy. She constantly self-sabotages because she needs to control every single narrative. Rafe is sitting there trying to offer her some brotherly wisdom, but what can he even say at this point? Gabi needs to hit rock bottom to realize that you cannot buy people's loyalty and you cannot manipulate your way into a happy. I think this breakdown is exactly what her character needs to eventually rebuild herself into something better. Finally, we have to talk about the absolute glorious mess that is Leo Stark. On Monday, Leo is sitting on Marlena Evans' therapy couch, making a deeply emotional confession. Just picture this. The ultimate agent of chaos, seeking psychiatric help from the Queen of Salem. It is comedy and tragedy all rolled into one. Leo is profoundly heartbroken over Javi Hernandez. He misses Javi so much, but he is completely frustrated because Javi has moved on with his new boyfriend Gus, the hunky Texas firefighter. But Leo wouldn't be Leo if he didn't do something incredibly toxic. In his confession to Marlena, it looks like Leo is going to admit that he is the one responsible for ruining Javi's happiness. We know Leo was eavesdropping when Gus decided to apply for the open firefighter job in Salem. Leo absolutely sabotaged that application. He probably manipulated Chad or used his sleazy connections to ensure JJ Devereaux got the job over Gus. Leo is sitting there crying to Marlena, realizing that his desperate, manipulative actions are the exact reason he is alone. It is a brilliant psychological breakdown of a villain who desperately wants to be loved, but fundamentally believes he doesn't deserve it, so he destroys everything around him. It is phenomenal writing, and Greg Ricard is acting his heart out.